We're live here.
Happy Thursday! Welcome back to the morning skate show with the hockey coach guru, Coach Francis, directly for the Sunshine State. And we have to go all the way to the West Coast to find Michael De Villano.
How's it going, Pierre? We had a great day yesterday with it was nice having Craig back.
It was a quiet night, only 2 games. So
Yeah,
it was
only
like
2 games last night.
have a chance to watching 6 period. Well, it's not happening a lot. But Yamo is in the house, is directly from Finland. Yamo, the man of the men. We have a new person live in Edmonton in Canada, Michael. His name is Henti Koivula. He's from Finland. And I just try to make the connection between him and Yamo.
Awesome.
We have also Veleo. They are from Finland. So I just want to make sure. We have also now Nicholas and Stefan Member. They are from Sweden, and they start talking Sweden in the chat. I'm losing completely everything happening. But it's like multi-language inside this Hockey National show. French, Spanish, Sweden, Finland, whatever they are. They're all talking about one thing, Michael. It's about hockey. So
good morning to Dan
I'm back in the house this morning.
Chainsaw Man's here. Ener Tap is here. We got Dan Ashram and Mark Roy. Mark Waugh says there's lots of injuries for the Devils.
Yeah, no goaltender, Michael, this morning.
Whoa, really?
Yep, Bernier is out and Blackwood is out. So Edgewood's going to get the nuts tonight. And is it down, D-A-W-S, something like that?
I'm not.
D-A-W-S.
Yeah. Nico Dawes.
Yeah. Number 4.
Well, Nico Dawes is the future of that team too, though. He's pretty damn good.
So he's going to be there. And then they lost Jack Hughes this morning. So he's going to have a dislocation shoulder. No asking for surgery, but it's something you have to wait for a couple of weeks, I believe. It's not something happening right away, but another right there. So that team is getting banged up with injury. Talking about injuries, the Winnipeg Jet, they was close to be out completely, the team with COVID. Last night was the big news in the hockey world where they have maybe more players finally. Now it's Wheeler, and now Max Sheffley is going to be out tonight with a protocol in COVID-19. But they are only the 2 players came back positive. And Wheeler fight with this for many weeks now with the COVID-19. But now Sheffley got it also. So Sheffley missing second game of the year. So another bad news over there for the Winnipeg Jet. They are, they struggled since the beginning of the year. So a lot of injuries around the league about that. Last night during the game, we lost Nick Foligno. That's another one, lived the games during the game. And then Martinez leave the game also during the third period, I believe. So 2 major key for that one. About the update about injuries. And the Panthers announced today they put Joe Levy on the injury list happening, I believe, last night. They called back another defenseman, Pieski or something like that. So I give you a little bit the last update, what's going on around the NHL for the last couple of minutes.
What is going on, man? This is crazy.
Yep.
That's so crazy. Well, the games last night were kind of interesting, and I was doing the video for this morning, and it's interesting because Philadelphia has 2 games in a row where they've scored 6 goals, and we know they won 6-1 over the Kraken, but then they beat Boston 6-3.
They are real. That's the Flyers they are, right? Every 2 years they play like this. 1 year they take off, and 1 year they are doing well. I think it's a mix of something. I think Fletcher make a big adjustment for the team. Get Ristolainen. We have a big body check on McEnroy last night. The Flyers fan love it. And then, Ryan Ellis participate. I think one player behind the door with nobody talk is Keith Yandel, where he control completely the power play over there. And also, he's doing well as a defenseman right now, as a number 5, number 6, whatever you consider their number over there. So their defensive is pretty good. And then, everybody complaining about Martin John, but he delivered yesterday his first debut with the Flyers, did very well overall.
40 shots.
Cannot complain about what he did. honestly. But on the
No.
flip side, it's not looking great for the goaltender at the Boston Bruins right now. If Swimmer cannot do what he's supposed to be, Ulmark, he didn't have a good chance yet. He did not play yet, so it'll be interesting what the situation goaltender. But yesterday, I think that's what the biggest problem for Boston. Swimmer gave at least a minimum at 2 goal where he should
Yeah, he
stop.
had a rough night.
He struggled.
792. I mean, listen, he's a younger goalie, but he's played very well. He played well their previous game. So I think it's just one game blip. You know, he 1-1. So they played Dallas. I mean, he played a big look at the difference, like 27 shots, 964, and then he drops down to 792. So he had a rough game. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go and give Olmark a chance, but maybe that's because he had such a good game prior.
Yeah, I think so too. And Ulmark have a very bad training camp.
He did not look good, Pierre.
So it'll be interesting to see that over there. So it's a team we know they're going to struggle, right? Overall, because they're missing like Montreal missing a piece of the puzzle of the center line, everything like that. And it's a little bit questionable over there. So it will be interesting to see Boston. I don't think so. The team is going to be like down, but is the team who maybe have an average of 525, 530 at the end of the year, I believe, on my side.
2 games.
So they play only 2 games so far, yes.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
I mean, it's a normal October for them, Michael, because the activity is from other sport. So they like to start in a little bit later because they let the Red Sox and the Patriots and, Celtic. Like today, if you love sport, every major sport play today, including the PGA.
Wow. That's crazy.
So you have a choice watching whatever you want to watch. They are all play. NBA is back, MLB playoff. And then, of course, we have the PGA and the NFL and the NHL. So 10 game on the program tonight, and it'll be interesting about that. But again, Joel Farabee now have a 1 goal, 1 assist for the first 3 game he played so far in NHL. And since that, Michael, he's the last player did that is Brendan Point in 2017 and Chris Kreider in 2016. Start the season with 3 games with 1 goal, 1 assist. The last one before that, Mike, you have to go all the way in 2009. And who he was? Enzi Kopitar.
Wow. Well, Kopitar is also racking it up. So
he's doing well. I'll be honest
he's
with you.
leading the NHL in scoring, I think.
Yeah. He's leading with McDavid and Tressel. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is everybody. Yeah. Oh, what happened? Oh, it gave me their team. I didn't want their stats. I wanted the overall stats. I'm pretty sure he's up there with them, right? So Connor, Leon, and they all have 8 points.
Yep.
It's pretty good company. Look at Jordan Kyrou, 7 points.
Great season so far. He played with Tarasenko right now. And, oh, my God, Nashane. I forgot the next one over there. But Tarasenko scored a great goal, great pass to Kyrou. Kyrou is looking great. One player over there that I love him a lot right now is Neighbor. Neighbor for the St. Louis Blues, looking great, number 63 over there. The St. Louis Blues right now looking great. To be honest with you, Binnington have a great game yesterday. San Jose again losing Martinez. There will be another blow for them after the last. And both goaltender Leno have a solid game yesterday. The score don't show exactly because it was an exciting game, back and forth. A lot of chance opportunities, but the goaltender was solid. Binnington have a great game yesterday for the St. Louis Blues, and I believe they are legit. They beat Vegas and Colorado so far, so it's something you have to be remember. You know what I mean? You have to be. My concern a bit the defense, but they have a bunch in attack. O'Reilly played well also over there. So.
Oh yeah, you can always count on Ryan. And Jake Neighbors is a great story, the former Edmonton Oil King. He only gets 10 minutes last night. Barbashev's had a good start to the season. Kostin had that goal and assist, so we'll keep an eye on that. He only got 10 minutes last night as well, so that's interesting.
He scored 2 goals against Arizona, but you can see he's not like I don't think so. He will stay inside with that. He's right now call up, so it'll be interesting to see that. I
mean, this is disappointing. Like Nolan Patrick, 11 minutes last night, 57% in the faceoff circle, but
he played at the third line. See, center third line over there.
that's low minutes for third line, Pierre.
But that's what he did. He played with Peter Krebs, and you can see those 11 minutes right there. So, and less shit about that one over there. They was messed up their line. Honestly, they missed Stone. So the first line was dead enough with Nicolas Roy and Shatler Stephenson. So just give you an idea how they was. You know what I mean? That's just to give you an idea what they are back up with depth. And Nicolas Roy play only 15 minutes. So it's a team's going to struggle. It's a team's going to be figure out. And if they lost Martinez now, that team's have a difficult time.
Yeah, I mean, 25 minutes from Peter Angelo, 23 minutes from Theodore. So you can see what's going to happen there. Hopefully Martinez is not out long term. They still have some good depth, but that you can't keep losing these big pieces and expect it not to affect you on the ice. It would be, I don't know. I think I'd be leaning on Krebs and I'd be pushing Nolan Patrick. It's like, here, buddy, it's time to start stepping up. But yeah, it's interesting. I just wanted to comment on Philadelphia for a second. Joel Farabee, you mentioned 3 goals, 3 assists his first 6 games. Cam Atkinson gets on the board again twice last night. And Travis Konechny also has 3 goals, Pierre.
Yeah.
So these are all good parts of that team. I mean, I think Ryan Ellis is very, very underrated in the NHL. Like, he's not a big guy, but he's super smart. Like, we could see it, going back to the GTHL when he was 14, you're like, he's so smart, Pierre. Like, we played them in the OHL Cup, and he was back with Cambridge, and it was him. Kyle Clifford was on that team, and he just was so good, Pierre. He just, like, controlled everything. And he's like that in the NHL. He's just so smart. He makes so many great decisions. Like, this is a guy that chews up second, pairing or number 2 minutes. So I think this takes a lot of pressure off Provorov. Like, you can see, Provorov was like so much better than everyone else last year. Now with Ristolainen, with Ellis, that really, really helps. And Yandel, to your point, like, can take on special teams. And he does a great job with that. Taylor Hall got on the board last night, so that's good for Boston. Couturier got his first 5 assists for Keith Yandel, Pierre.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive.
That's the key. He's, like, I don't know how many assists on power play. You have 2 assists. The first goal, he make a long stretch pass, smart, hit the board behind the goaltender. And the first one, Atkinson pick up the puck, he score. But I think he's doing well with that team over there. It's a team that struggled last season because the defensive was not great. There missed connection between the forward defense, but now they have those kind of players. So it's a team, I believe, going to create a lot of problem for their team. And that division is going to be, it's a race about 7 team, about for 3 spot or 4 spot over there. So we'll be interesting to see that.
Like, Derek Brassard might be the most underrated signing. Like, 5 points already in 3 games is paying early dividends. Can't wait for the game tonight. Ottawa versus San Jose. I agree, London. Thanks for joining us, London. That's awesome. NHL News Reports is here. Thank you. Good morning. How are you doing, buddy? We haven't seen you in a while. What are the stats of David Perron? I think Perron is like point a game right now, right?
Yeah, 2 game, 2 goal, and maybe 2 assists, maybe 1 assist. I believe at 3 point. Did not participate to the point maybe yesterday, but he did it 3 point at the same time.
Yeah, point a game. 2 goals, 1 assist in 3 games. So It's early, but man, it's nice to see these guys on the ice again. Hopefully they stay healthy. We saw Brandon Saad score for St. Louis last night. So that was a big off-season acquisition for them. So that's good news. Playing with Perron and O'Reilly.
Yeah, but he's not. I don't know. He's very quiet. Being honest with you, that line, the line right now doing well. But again, it's another team where they are well balanced, right?
Yeah.
Last night was all about Tarasenko, Shani, Kiru. The night before was Kiru and Carson, everything like that. And the first game is Perron with O'Reilly. So it's another like Florida Panthers. They're sharing their time and their productivity for the team. So that's what's happening about this. I don't say Sally is bad. I just like the one right there right now is like glad to see him score first goal. But that team is really balanced on the third line, so 3 lines over there. So Barbashev scored his an empty net yesterday, but overall is a team right now. They're going to be a surprise on that division over there for sure, and Central.
They're deep. That's the thing. That's the key, right? We see that guys go down with injury, and who can pick up the slack. So Terry and Kim Pagula are here, Pierre, and man, the Buffalo Sabres are 3-0. Did you ever expect this?
Not really, but everybody's expecting, it's not going to be like this all over. It will be back what is supposed to be, right? But they play system. They took advantage of the team they play against at that moment. But every W count, and great to see that team right now at 3-0. But great course. Kevin Adams is a really smart man. Just listening to him about 45 minutes ago on the Sirius XM network NHL, and he's just he know what he's doing. Unfortunately, the situation with Jack Eichel, but again, I think him and Granato can changing that little bit, that culture with time, with patience, and he knows that, and he know what he had. Great answer what he gave to the people on the interview this morning. It's third time I listen to him, and he's really, really way he talk. I really enjoy the way he talks. So will be interesting.
I don't know. Farabee's a young guy. I mean, he played very well for them last year. I think he was like one of their, I would say maybe their best player most of the season. It was a shortened year, but I think this is a good news story for them. I mean, this goes back to Ron Hextall, who drafted him, didn't draft him that high. I mean, he's not low, but he was like a little bit deeper in the draft. So I think
this is a guy usually. Well, first of all, it's only his third year in NHL. Yeah. He played last season a full time for the first time. He came the year before. Remember in the bubble, he had a great series with a couple of goals in power play. He's a really good on power play. So I think the time for him is to be patient a little bit, but he can prove he can be a good player in NHL. So it'll be interesting to follow up with him about that. But you can see like 52 game that season, and then look, you have 3 goals, not 3 goals, but on playoff you have 3 goals and 12 games. That's why he's starting to show a little bit more. And last year he did pretty good, around 38 point mark on 55 games. That's at least about 50 points to 6, an average 50. And then that team, Michael, does not do well. So he have 20 goals. That's goal about 30, maybe 30 goals at the end of the year. Yep. So I think it's pretty good. I think so. And he just continue right now what he did last season. So I don't know if it's really, what in our top is really there.
He's streaky. I think he's just a very talented player. He's really good on power play, but he scores 5-on-5 too. Like he's a damn good player.
Yeah, but he scored a lot of goals like in power play. My point is like he's good on power play. That's my.
Oh yeah, I agree. He is. I mean, you need those types of guys, but here he is. Like he's right at the top of everything. So it's pretty. It's interesting to see Brassard up there. I think the Cam Atkinson thing, as long as he stays healthy, I bet you he gets 30 goals. He's very capable of that. I don't see. I guess they don't break it down on that site. Well, we have a lot of games tonight. Oh, actually, a couple stories that we wanted to touch on. One was a very unfortunate one. I don't know what the prognosis is here, but Mike Bossy, the legendary Mike Bossy, who's an absolute gentleman. If anyone's ever met Mike, he's a very nice man, very well-spoken, very classy, one of the greatest players ever to play in the NHL, was unfortunately diagnosed with lung cancer. So I don't know what the prognosis is. He's been broadcasting on TVA, so I guess he'll step away from being a broadcaster to handle the disease. This is a guy that scored 570 goals in 752 games, 4 Stanley Cups in a row with the Islanders, and he was very pivotal to that. And my cousin was the chief scout and assistant GM for the Islanders. He was the chief scout when they drafted him. So that was like one of the big picks that Jimmy Devellano made. Jimmy was also, in on Dennis Potvin and Brian Trottier, and he was always really nice. Mike actually was a spokesperson for one of the companies I worked for back in the early 2000s, and he was just a delight to have around. He was such a nice man and was a very good spokesperson for our company. So our thought goes out to him. I hope that this turns out well for him. Hopefully, it's not advanced. And I guess we'll keep an eye on this to see how he's doing. The other story was around Mark Stone. It sounds like his injury is not going to be long term. They're kind of going day to day so far. So I'm not sure that. So they said he doesn't need surgery, and they're saying it's day to day or week to week with a lower body injury. So I don't know if this is a knee. Do we know what this is?
No. They talked about this yesterday, but it's just like daily, could be a weekly, but it's still not. They have to wait. I think it's a weight injury, and now only the time we fix it. Is it a groin? Is it something we don't know yet? What really it is?
Something. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully, that turns out for him. So the Hughes is on. This is not great news. This is what you were talking about, that he has a dislocated shoulder. That's not great news for him. It sounds like it's not surgery, but that could be like a month or something easy. Because it depends how bad the tear is. Because usually when you dislocate it, you're ripping all the muscle around it. So that's not great. So last night we also saw that the GM says there's no changes planned. Is this usually a prelude to changes in Montreal?
No, it's just the story about this. It's just Mac Bergevin show up at the press conference about that, and that's pretty much what happened yesterday. So he make a press conference, and
yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on it. All right, so we have lots of games tonight, Pierre. This is
I think you should look. You have a lot of people
we have
about fun things, and you're right.
Morning to Ellen. My dad, who's been a Habs fan for 7 years, said, "Relax. The Habs always go through a losing streak. They'll bounce back." All right. Well, we'll see what happens. I think they just have a lot of, missing Hoffman, missing Price, missing Weber is no joke. So I think they'll have to deal with that. Happy for Perron's points, says Mark Waugh. Michael doesn't like me anymore. Come to the Sabres. Well, it looks like a good place to be right now, Terry. I like your coach. He's doing a great job. And Pierre, I give a vote of confidence for Kevin Adams. Good morning, Corey Hill. We know Corey Hill's a big Ottawa Senators fan, and they play tonight. And who's going to be in the lineup? Brady Tkachuk. So we'll be watching this to see, how does Brady do in his first game? Has there been any talk of him wearing the C? Because we kept hearing that rumor. I think they would have announced something, right?
The rumor is going to be announced the next month, but he could be next week to the 1 month. So we don't really know. I think I'll be shocked they do this today. I think they will give a couple of days, maybe a week, but I think that will come very soon. That's my prediction about that situation. We know Carlson is there tonight, so the ex-captain to the new captain, but I don't see the way they do that. But I think right now they focus more the welcome back and with the team, and I think that'll be the first thing to do. But I think they will wait a couple of weeks. That's what my prediction about that one, but I could be wrong honestly with that. But it's good for hockey to see Brady Tkachuk back on the ice for the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah. Well, tonight, the first game on the schedule, Carolina Hurricanes against Montreal Canadiens. These teams are the polar opposite at the moment. 2-0, only 2 games for Carolina, but still looking very good so far. Canadiens 0-4-0. And our friend NHL Hockey News Report says, will the Habs be 0-5 tonight?
Yes. Carolina is going to beat Montreal 6-1 tonight.
Jeez. Will Kotkaniemi score?
Possible, because ex-players from Montreal always score. Again, the Montreal it's a really something happening. He will put him on the first line. They will give him about 15 minutes, 16 minutes. I think they would push on that one over there. I exaggerate with 6-1, but I don't see what Montreal. If you look about all the stat, everything happened. It's like you said, two opposite. One is great right now on the power play, on PK, and then the other teams struggle for everything like that. I think it would be really bad for the Montreal to losing that kind of game, like 5-1 or 4-1 and everything like that. The key behind this not losing is to show up and to working hard and to play 60 minutes over there. They have a lot of change, not on the roster, but more on the line. So he really must fight a couple of things over there. But again, it's going to be hard for them, for the Montreal Canadiens. If they continue to play the way they play right now, they are not at the same league. About 20 teams when you're watching last night St. Louis and Vegas, and you watch Montreal play for the first 4 games, it's like American Hockey League right now. The speed is not there. Edmonton, Anaheim, it's just,
man.
you know what I mean? So it's going to be a really difficult time for Montreal if they don't change the way to play. And it's not one direction; it's all together. And can they do it? Possible, but again, it's a one game at a time, and we'll see. And the only good news about this, their schedule after that is a little bit easier. When I said that, is the team have not kind of that like Carolina, every time that they have Detroit, the other team where it's a team they can compete better. But again, San Jose are not better to Montreal. If you look on the paper, San Jose is not, you know what I mean? Like they don't have like amazing, great. It's all about the work effort and the effort and the work ethic. And right now, Montreal, they have too much disconnection between the defenseman and the forward and the way they play as a team together. But again, it's a game of momentum, Michael. 1 goal there, 2 goal there, take the lead by 2-0 after the first. You're going to changing right away. Every time that they need right now to score goal. They need that kind of, because every player in NHL, Michael, whatever they are, Montreal, Toronto, they don't like to see the in the column of 0 goal. They want a 1 goal.
They got a lot of guys in that column, Pierre. Like you have goose eggs for Suzuki.
Oh yeah, everybody. We have only 2 goals.
Anderson,
so easy.
Caulfield, like we expected a lot from, and we haven't seen a really good game from Christian Dvorak yet.
Well, yes and no. Be honest with you, the number are not there, but they are that line. Dvorak, Anderson doing the best over there. Again, 3 posts for 2 crossbar, 1 post. He cannot buy the. But you know what I mean. I'm not saying you're wrong here. I just said that's the only line have more opportunities, but they don't have no opportunities. They don't create anything to make that. They don't crash the net. They don't in front of the net. They don't want to pay the price. It's like it's not me, it's you. You and now it's you should be you, and it's just not there anymore. And I have to get there. Like Benjamin said yesterday, no excuse right now. We've been there. We've been the hole before. We've been deep in the hole before. Now we have to go back and then see what happens. So I think Marc Bergevin took the heat from out of everybody yesterday. He showed up in front of people, and he clarified the situation over there. Nobody's going to be fired. Nobody's going to be traded. Nobody's going to be. We have an intern, and he gave a lot of good point about Shea Weber. Maybe that this career is over. He said this is a long shot to see Weber come back. And then Jordan Binnington, we wish, because you talk about Michael Bussy, but the dad of Jordan Binnington is right now battled against the cancer. So that's the reason he's not playing hockey at that moment over there. So it's another one time. So we'll see what's happening. But the big news is just Perry Kotkaniemi is in town tonight. It will be interesting to see Kotkaniemi, where they don't have a great great year so far. And he played on the 4 lines. So $6.1 million. So it'll be interesting to follow with this. A little bit quiet for Nikas over there. If you watch him, but it's great to see other players step up. Chandikov had a great start of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Teravainen now back a little bit. Teravainen had a difficult time last year with concussion and injury. So we'll be interesting to see what they're going to do again. But this is a team, top 5 team in NHL. You're going to see this tonight, how well they are coached, how well they play, the execution, everything like that on the special team. It's a really good team over there.
Do we think that Antti Raanta will get his first start, or will they go back to Freddie Anderson tonight?
It should be Anderson tonight. It's not confirmed. I did not see it. I see Anderson, but I don't know. I did not look confirmed. But it should be Anderson versus Allen tonight.
Okay. All right. So the other game we were mentioning was Brady Tkachuk's first game of the year. San Jose Sharks against the Ottawa Senators. San Jose is 2-0, but I think that one of those wins was against Montreal, wasn't it? And one was against Arizona.
No, Winnipeg.
Oh.
I believe.
You're right. You are right.
4-3, I believe.
Yep, I think you're correct. So I'm really interested to see William Eklund play. He's got 2 points in his first 2 games. So that's good news for them. Thomas Hertl has a couple points. LeBlanc's on the bet. And they got 4 points from Timo Meier. Like, They got to
But right
figure.
now, Meyer can run that team over there. I watched him again in Montreal. Honestly, it's not a big lineup, Michael. It's not a great team. If you look about what they have, um, they took advantage of Montreal really soft and don't show up. But what I like to see was Dallin and Eglam. I always said like William Eglam is going to be a great hockey player, and
Yeah, Solid looks good.
He's showing the ice every time that. But he's a team, Michael. And I'll be honest with you, Hill was unbelievable. He'll have a great game against Montreal Canadiens. So far he's 2-0. Yeah, one shutout in NHL so far. And but he was looking great. Is James Reimer is going to be between the pipe tonight versus Matt Murray. Two goaltenders start their first game of the season for both. Okay. Their defensive marker is only 4, but Ferrero is someone with nobody talk. He's underrated. Ferrero right now would play with Brett Burns.
Yeah.
So it's a team like they go to hanging there, but after 20 games, they're going to be at the bottom of that division. I don't see that kind of team where they have enough of depth in that organization and that team at that moment without also Evander Kane was their best player last season, Michael. So it's going to be that veteran Bonino, Gogliano, and I mean, like, but again, I don't see this team can go like, so tonight for me, if I have to pick a team, I would go with Ottawa.
Yeah, I mean, Ottawa's been playing really well. I think this is good lineup for them. I mean, they had the offseason acquisition of Nick Bonino. I think Barbanoff has a lot of skill. It'll be interesting to see if he gets in the lineup. I don't know if he's hurt right now. But obviously, Timo Meier, they got to figure out something and get this guy signed. Thomas Hertls look good. A couple of interesting acquisitions. We know that the draft pick, William Eklund's look real solid. I suspect they're going to keep him all year. I mean, he does not look out of place right now. And this guy, Jasper Weatherby, he had a very good prospect tournament. And he was like a little bit older guy, big guy, and he's got some pretty decent hands. So this is a good news story for them because he looked very good in the prospects and in preseason. So
they put him on the 4 line right now, but I think that is a big guy, 6'4". He's only 23. So at that moment, he's on the right chair. And they need a guy like him at that moment. But he was not bad against Montreal Canadiens.
No, he's been real good. Former North Dakota player. And he played for the Omaha Lancers in the USHL. So this is a pretty good story. Like I remember him. So the Wenatchee Wild are in the BCHL, Pierre, but they're in Wenatchee, Washington. And he looked very good like anytime I've ever seen him. So I think this is good news. This is a U.S.-born player out of Portland, Oregon, of all places. And he's a big guy that can really play. And he's in 98. So, yeah, he's a little bit older than other guys. And we know that North Dakota is an excellent program. So this could be a good story for them. And I like Mario Ferraro. That's a great comment because he's grown on me over time. So I think that's a guy that some people have picked Mario Ferraro as a breakout player this year. So we'll see if that happens or not.
Well, he played the first pair, so he's playing the first pair of the defense. So I think it's pretty good. Yes, Kelly, Frederick Anderson was still the show tonight. Your buddy Bernie is out, by the way, Kelly. He's hurt. He's hurt, so he's not going to be the goaltender for the Devils. And finally, welcome Shane Walsh, the South Ontario. Welcome aboard, everybody else. Thanks for joining us this morning. Don't forget to click on the like. That'd be awesome. Don't hesitate to ask questions. We're going to answer to you at some point. How much did he finally get?
I think that's Tkachuk, right? It was 57 million.
Possible. Oh no, he got 8.2 something. So it's about 6. Yeah.
So it works out to like
62, 65, 66.
I think it's 57.5. It's 8.2 a year. So it's a great contract. All right. So other games tonight, Avalanche and Panthers. So the Panthers are rolling along and playing really well. I think Avalanche, I'm not sure what to think of right now, but
it's Makar.
Is it Makar or is it Kumper?
Makar only 1 point.
Yeah, and Darcy Kemper didn't have a great game last game.
Well, the last game, no, but again, he did very well the first 2 games over there. I think overall the problem there is just like McKinnon did not play the first 2 games. And then also Lestegard played the missed 2 games. You know what I mean? Like it's holiday. We did not show up at the Colorado. But again, I said again, and I mentioned this, they don't have no depth. Their their depth is not there. They're missing too many players,
They're missing a
and they
lot.
don't play with Nikoshin right now. So you put Nikoshin, they was the second best winger. They don't have enough. Whatever, like McKinnon cannot play 45 minutes,
No.
right? So really difficult start. And again, I don't see that team win anything this year. With what they have right now, they don't have enough. And the goaltender situation with Francouz now on the long-term injury.
Not good.
So they have one team struggle to get out the hole, and you have one team is going to the Stanley Cup right now. The way they play the Panthers, I don't know how this Avalanche can do this. And 1-3 Avalanche, I don't know. I would be a little bit interesting to see McKinnon.
I'm not sure.
It's going to be a fast game tonight, Michael. I'll be great watching Avalanche Panthers because speed of this game will be unbelievable of both ways.
Yeah.
So.
If Brady Tkachuk is the captain, I think Thomas Chabot is already an assistant, isn't he?
I think they don't have no captain, St. Carlson, so it'll be interesting if he's going to be. Like I said, he's going. The news was they have to wait 1 month before they get that, so it could be 2 weeks, whatever it is. DJ Smith mentioned this during the press conference yesterday. So, but Chabot, he will get an A for sure.
I think he's already an A.
One over there.
He might already be an A. So Jonathan Bernier is hurt. I don't know. Is this long-term period? Do we have any?
No,
idea?
it's just a day-to-day, daily.
Oh, that's good. So, I mean, Wedgwood played some really great games last year. He had a couple shutouts. He's a little bit inconsistent for the NHL, but he's capable of backstopping. And Nico Dawes is one of the goalies of the future in New Jersey. Like, I can see long-term it's Mackenzie Blackwood and Nico Dawes. Like, he's a real good goalie. So those are the two goalies. They're pretty capable. I don't think they'll lose a lot. The biggest story for me is Jack Hughes. That's the biggest worry, obviously.
Excuse me. Yeah, again, the Washington was doing well right now without Backstrom, but again, the key over there, it's Ovechkin, but also Kusanov set up the last game over there.
That looks good.
So I think overall that team, I think Washington have a little bit advantage. Will be interesting. I don't know if Vanecek or Samsonov. I did not see the goaltender starter, but it's the team, Washington, you thought he's not going to be there. They're missing Backstrom, but they're looking good since the beginning of the year. And like I said, they beat the Colorado Avalanche, you said earlier about that one. And then for the Devils, look, you're going to have some teams, some night you're not going to have difficult time, but you cannot lose too many players like they play without Ty Smith, right? He's still. Severson's back in the lineup with them. So it'll be interesting what he looked. Thomas Tatar doing well over there. Sharankovic very a bit quiet, but it's a team can do some damage this year, but not. I don't see enough to make the playoff. But it's a team to watch. It's a fun team to watch. The Devils for this season for sure. About that, Canadian John just joined us. Welcome back, buddy. We appreciate you about this. How different do you see Colorado from last year?
A lot. I don't know that they lost Ryan Graves. So that's kind of like your number 3, number 4 defenseman. I think that's a big loss.
But they miss a lot right now, Dustin Toews, right? That's on a piece of puzzle they don't have right now.
Dave, and then they lose Brandon Saad. And Saad's a veteran top 6 forward, so that doesn't help them.
Well, they lost like 45 goals with Doskui and Sad together. And they don't took anybody in return to get that one over there. Now, Ryan Graves is a part of the mix, but they have so many defensemen. It's Barron right now have the most point with 1 goal, 2 assists. On the flip side, Ryan Graves had 3 assists, most point for the Devils at that moment. But again, it's a team right now they're looking to figure out. But I think Joe Sakic will have to add some piece of the puzzle because Colorado right now don't have the team. I'm telling you right now, they don't have the team right now to make the final Stanley Cup or people thinking you're going to win the Stanley Cup. This is not going to happen right now with that team.
Yeah. Islanders and Blue Jackets. We saw a really great game last time from Sorokin. So I'm assuming he's back in between the pipes. Blue Jackets are 2-1. It's a little bit deceiving with the game against Arizona, but in the end, Blue Jackets are going to be competitive. They're going to give teams a hard time. Their goaltending right now, Pierre, is lights out.
You have to be a little bit careful. Blue Jackets have an easy schedule right now. They play Arizona and they play Buffalo. So it's not like or Detroit, I believe, right? So they played Detroit. I apologize. They did not play Buffalo. But again, it's not like, it's the beginning of the year. And then for me, it's like, okay, who do you play again? Which team? Maybe on that. So the Islanders, on the flip side, didn't have a great start. Lost again the Panthers and Carolina. It was not the start where they gave a lot of goal. Now they win the last game, get a little bit getting. The key about this is to see Wallstrom score the last game with 2 goals. So it's a little bit encouraged for the Islanders to see that, right? So this is a game they cannot lose in my eyes, and I don't see how they can lose this game. But I agree with you. Capucillo and Mr. Clean have a good year so far. As a team can score, now they max Domi, and we'll be interesting now how they going to play against Islanders tonight.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if they give more time to Sillinger. Chinikov looked okay the other night, so I think that was good. They're just going to be very competitive. Like, they don't take any shifts off. They play the same sort of in-your-face style that they've always had. One thing I was going to comment on, there's a lot of games with like 35, 40 shots we've seen. And I'm not sure what that's all about. I was kind of wondering if there was a reason for that. Is it, are players being told not to block shots now? Because it seems like, yeah, maybe just because beginning of the year. Detroit Red Wings are 2-0-1. They've played pretty well so far. Calgary Flames are the opposite. They have not played well. We're still waiting to see a Sean Monahan, if he can get out of the funk that he's in. I'm a little concerned about that. Goudreau's looked good so far, and Lindholm might be their best forward. They definitely miss Mark Giordano, though.
Yeah, again, they play again. A team was really, Edmonton. So, I mean, like it's 5-2. That's their loss with that. They tied the game and they lost in the shootout, I believe, on that game over there. Calgary have to find their own intensity. Okay, and they need to go deeper. The Monahan and those players around him. Defensively, it's not too bad. But again, it's a team really. It's a bubble team. It's just a team's going to be bubble. On the flip side, Detroit is an experienced year for them. Zeller have already 3 points. That's a great news for them. It's fun to watch. I can't wait to see them Saturday night in Montreal. But they have another team like what we don't expect that start. But they did so far. They have a little bit better to see them, watching them, and it's a combination of people coming back, right? Thomas and not Thomas, Fabry and Larkin and Bertuzzi and and then you add Lucas Raymond with that part.
Yeah, he's looked great. Like, this guy's not going to stop looking great either, Pierre. Like, you can just see he looked great in preseason. He looked great in prospects. He looks great now. Like, I think he's really maybe their best player. He's just so consistent. He has a great shot, and he's a great playmaker. He just never seems to make the wrong decision with the puck. He's just very dangerous in the offensive zone, and he's good without the puck. Like, he's a great forechecker. This is good news for them. But what really accentuates everything is when you watch Dylan Larkin trying to make passes that go the other way. He's trying to pass through 8 feet. He's given passes to guys that are total hand grenades. It's kind of like, well, this is the opposite of Raymond. But he has great speed, so he can recover on stuff. But it definitely creates havoc for everyone else. I don't know who the goalie will be tonight. I wonder if Nedeljkovic will get a start. Gray started the last 2 games, and he looked very good. All right, New York Rangers and the Nashville Predators. The Rangers seem to, after a kind of a not great first game where they got thumped by the Washington Capitals, they're getting great goaltending for Shesterkin. And we're seeing that Mika Zibanejad. I mean, how many centers in the NHL are better than Zibanejad? Like, is he a top 10 player or 12 player right now?
He's a good plus overall for them, but he just he continues. Is the key last year. Everybody remember he have a slow start. On the last 82 game, Michael, he have 92 points.
And you're right. He had a very slow start, and he turned it around and ended up a point a game. So he was getting, and go back to the year before, I think he was 1.5 a game with them.
Yep.
He's a pretty special player. The Ducks and Jets. So the Jets, we know, are having some challenges right now dressing a proper lineup, especially with their captain Blake Wheeler out. We'll see who else is missing because of the vid protocol. The Ducks, though, Pierre, the Ducks look very good. Like, they've been quick. I think they're going to eventually settle back down, but on the ice, Zegras has looked very good for them. Drysdale's look great. I think we're still waiting to see a little bit more from Comtois. And Mason McDonald has looked very good. We know he had a great first game. I think overall, it'll be interesting to see if they keep him. He's now played, 4 games? 3 games. So I don't know if they'll keep him or if they'll send him back to the OHL. I think it really depends on if they want to blow a year. We saw a great game last game from Sam Steele. So he had a 2-goal game, Pierre, which I thought was really positive for them because they need Sam Steele to get it in gear. He's got all the ability. We know he's reliable, but he's got to be able to be a second-line center for them. They really need this guy. Getzlav has definitely moved to the third, fourth line right now, which is probably where he should be. Silverberg, you mentioned, he's been playing real well. So I think there's some good news stories for them. And, overall, like John Gibson is the key here. But Stoller's had a great game too. Like Stoller's on the one loss. He played so well in that one game.
Yeah. Zegras is quiet for them, but that's normal. He's a rookie. So, I mean, like...
yeah, I didn't realize he's only had 1 assist in 4 games.
Yeah, it's over there. Terry come back and still came back. Yeah, first game was crashed for the first 3 games still, and he come back with 2 goals the last game. But Terry have a good season so far. Silverberg is another one. Tristan looking good, but Shutterkirk is another one over there with 4-5 points. They lost McTavish now, so it's another little bit hurt. But it's a team, it's another team right now take advantage about everything. But, we see Gibson, their goaltender is solid. But they are fun to watch. And so far, they not be, every time they play, Michael, they was in the game. Whatever they lost, they never be, destroy. So that's a good news about that. It'll be interesting to watching them tonight, but so right.
Bud the Monkey had asked who wins between the Avs and Panthers. I think it's going to be Panthers all the way.
I think so. Barpowski is back. They moved their lineup. Is almost the same thing. Lundell. They put Renard on the left side. That's a little bit surprised me. But Renard play with Orvist on the third line tonight. Joe Thornton is going to have a day off. That's what we expect this season. They would give Joe Thornton a couple of days off. Lumber is out of the lineup, if I can recall it. Mr. Renan is going to be back in the lineup with Marshman. Their top 6 is the same. Duclair first line with Varehi and Barkov, Huberdeau, Bennett, and Tippett. So well done. Brendan Montour doing well over there. A Forsling, 4 assists already for them. So Forsling, so Mackenzie we got a little bit more point, but their power play does not do well since the beginning of the year. That's something you have to work. Montour scored on power play last game. But look, that team is right now well done. It's doing very, very well, and everything they do turn around to be goal. And it'll be interesting because it's another challenge, right? After the Islanders, they got Chicago the first game, Islanders, and they faced to the Tampa Bay. And to the last 3 games, the first 3 games, they play against a solid team and they win both. That is another team where the people said Colorado is going to be great this season. So another challenge for the Florida Panthers for tonight. It's a game we're going to follow with the Montreal Canadiens for sure.
I'm going to give the 9-minute warning, Pierre, that I have to go at the top of the hour, just so you know. Brad Marchand's son has joined us, and he commented, obviously, that Philly won by, the 6-3. We already talked about this game. Swayman really struggled in that game. The defense was not great, so I agree with that. We have a little bit of rivalry, it looks like, between Brad Marchand's son and Bud the Monkey in the chat. So I don't know if they're talking about the Florida versus I don't know if they're talking about like Boston is playing Florida, or are they talking about the pool? All right,
Greg, we have to look about the DeBrusque a call Coy for Erdl.
The trade?
Like he talked about this, like he just proposed this.
Or maybe, got it. Okay,
I don't know. It's not bad. This.
Yeah, I don't know. DeBrusque is a guy that I would not want. Scheifele isn't playing today, so that's bad news. If Scheifele's out and Wheeler, this is gonna be a tough game.
Yeah.
Reinhardt is playing with Lundell and Hornqvist, so that's interesting. Is he playing center or is Lundell playing center?
Center. Lundell. Reinhardt play left wing.
Interesting. Wow, they're moving him all around.
Yeah.
He had a great season last year playing center, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know if I love him as a center.
But they don't
Fourth
have
line is,
no room for him.
yeah, there's no center room. All right, so good morning to Greg and John. Thank you for joining us. And Corey Hill says he went to Ottawa and Dallas last week, and in the elevator, guess who came in the GM of the Senators? Pierre Dorian. Okay, cool. That's great. Send us
Yeah.
a copy of your picture. Post it on the Facebook page.
That's
I
awesome.
think Boston got outplayed on the power play, and they must be better. Yeah. Well, the goaltending didn't help. Okay, and Bud the Monkey says they are facing off in fantasy. Vallejo says good morning to Pierre and Michael. Thank you. We really appreciate our Finnish friends joining us. Sorry I'm late. You were shopping. No problem. We know you're in a totally different country and time zone. All right, so a couple other games. Canucks and Blackhawks. The Blackhawks have not had a good game yet. Like, not one.
It's a team a little bit struggle. Honestly, Vancouver is a team like this. Vancouver, if you put out Peterson, Michael, they are not the same team. Now, if you put Quinn Hughes out, that's a worse. And
Right.
Quinn Hughes did not play yet. Like he played only 2 games, I believe. So it's a team, very different team without him and the lineup. They did not play with Brock Bowser. It's another team a little bit struggle with injuries. The Vancouver Canucks. It's not making an excuse, but it's a team right now. One game they shouldn't have lost. They lost again Detroit, I believe.
Yep.
And it's a team find a way to get what it's supposed to be. But Gallon's doing well over there. Chasson score, and but Peterson's quiet. 2 point only, but the game is getting. And when you back Michael with a wrist injury, is never great about that. So it'll be interesting. Use is a game decision or not for tonight. But without him is another team, honestly. And look, they play again another team where they struggle also. Everything happening in Montreal now. Same situation with Winnipeg and Chicago.
Yep.
Chicago 0-3-1, Fleury, Jones, everybody else. And I think they need a bit more for Patrick Kane. I think Kane can have to get back better a little bit more. Jonathan Toews, those players with leadership, been there before. They have to step up overall for them.
Yeah, nothing from Taves so far. Kane's got a point a game, which is fine, but not great. No goals from Tyler Johnson, so that doesn't really help them. The Brincats look good, but he's got 1 goal, 1 assist. Kirby Dach's got a couple goals and 3 points in 4 games. So I think the big story, though, here is the goaltending has not been good.
For me, it's more the defense, to be honest with you. Their defense struggle a lot, honestly. Of course, Fleury don't have a great beginning of season, right? Understand that, but really the defense is where they are. If you think about this, Michael, they don't have a lot of goal. I think I saw 8 if I count quickly. 1, 2, 3. I don't know how many goals they have right now.
Going real well for them right now. Like they're definitely goals against is a challenge though. 17 goals against in 4 games, you're not going to win any.
So they have 8 goals in 4 games. It's about 2 games per game with the offensive. They have really, like Montreal -12. They are -10 on Arizona, -9 for Chicago. Yeah, that's a goal difference right there. I know it's early in the season, but you cannot be at that level. Like Seattle -8. Those numbers don't cheat anything. If you have your minus the goal difference, you're going to struggle all year long. It cannot be like Montreal right now -12.
Yep. A 125 winning percentage. It can only go up here. I don't know how it goes. It gets any worse, but we'll find out tonight. All right, the final game, which, oh, shoot. Where'd it go? There it is the Edmonton game tonight. So that we'll be watching with interest, but only because will they score 10 goals tonight?
No, but Ken McDavid got 4 or 5 points with Tresol. If you have fantasy hockey, put everything on that team.
Oh my God, yeah.
You have to put. I don't see how this can be not like a 5 goals difference between this both team. And the rookies should be back in the lineup tonight. Veshchika or something. I don't remember his last name. Melka. Here you go. Sorry about that. I do not remember his name.
I can't pronounce this guy's name either.
On the flip side, Michael Koskinen. But I think we don't talk enough about Stuart Skinner. Stuart Skinner is only 22 years old, Michael. The goaltender take a little bit longer about this. I think they have something between their hands over there. I wouldn't be surprised Stuart Skinner get a game during the time Mike Smith will be out at minimum 7-10 days.
I
I
don't
would
know.
not be surprised Skinner get the maybe not tonight, but maybe
I
the
don't
next game. Return that would
You
be
think
interesting to
Skinner over
follow with
Rodriguez?
Koskinen.
I don't know. Stuart Skinner was terrible in the preseason, and he was terrible.
Yeah, no. If you look at his number, it's 2 point something right now. He's doing very well in American Hockey League. Every time that.
Is he? Because Rodriguez to me has been a much more consistent goalie for them, and I've actually thought he might have a chance to be the backup. But so it'd be interesting. Stuart Skinner's a big goalie. I don't think he's hit his stride yet. He's got some holes in his game, but maybe he gets a chance here. I think they need to trade for a goalie, though. I think they need to figure
Oh,
something.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Good, good numbers so far for Koskinen, and hopefully he can continue. But he seems to be an on and off goalie. All right, Pierre, I do have to jump. If you want me to leave you on, I can leave you on.
No problem. I just want to mention the last thing what Corey said. Should trade for the first round pick? I don't think so, Corey. I think this Ottawa should be what they are right now and just wait for the injuries coming back like Colin White, everything like that. I don't think so. That would be the right things to do at that moment. Thanks so much, everybody, to watching us for another great show of the Morning Skate Show. We'll look forward to see you tonight, 5 o'clock p.m. With NR Tap for the warm-up show. Finally, we are back tonight, live stream Montreal Canadiens versus the Carolina Hurricanes at 6:45, the pregame show, 7 o'clock p.m. And then we'll go to follow the Panthers tonight. Big game against Colorado Avalanche. An amazing, great day, everybody.